Welcome back to TKO Takes, and in case you missed my last video, I talked about the 5 teams you should not trust in March Madness 2026, so make sure to go check that video out. But now it's time to be positive. It's time to look at the world like it's prime 2016, with a little twinkle in my eye. But today we're discussing the teams I'll be picking to make it to the Sweet 16 without a doubt. And I'm not going to include any one seeds in this video, so sadly, Florida's disqualified because they're going to be a 1 or 2 seed depending on how UConn and Florida finish in their conference tournaments. But let's take a look at the teams I think have a great shot at going far in March. Coming in at number 5 is St. Mary's, and ladies and gentlemen, St. Mary's has offense this year. I can't believe it. They finally did it. They're not just a good rebounding team with solid defense anymore. They actually have guys that can put the ball in the basket. Mikey Lewis and Joshua Dent are solid guards that can handle, score, and shoot the ball very well. They also have really solid bigs with Murkauskas and McKeever, who grab 17 boards per game together. And they also have Vessels off the bench, who is another great rebounder. And this team is one of the best in the country at offensive rebounding, which is so huge in March Madness because you need every possession possible because you're going to miss a lot of your early jump shots. So you need to have good rebounding to clean up those missed shots. The only concern is that this team is not very deep, but with the right draw, this can be a nightmare matchup, especially for smaller mid-majors like a high-seeded Nebraska. The next team I really trust this year is the Iowa State Cyclones, who have one of the best big threes in the country with the Bulldog, Tamin Lipsey, the best shooter in the country, Milan Momcilovic, and versatile big man Joshua Jefferson. Those three are super experienced, and this is their last chance to win a championship together. The Cyclones have always been a great defensive team like they are this season, but their issues have been scoring and depth, and I think this year's team finally solves these issues. Joshua Jefferson and Milan have upped their shooting tremendously, and they also have some key role players who can shoot and guard like Torrey, Bateman, and Heisey off the bench. So Iowa State has 7 very solid players in their rotation, and all these players can make a big shot for you, which is huge in crunch time March Madness games. So I think this could be the year Iowa State finally makes it past the Sweet 16. And coming in at number 3, I've got the Illinois Fighting Illini. And man, this is a fun team to watch. I love options in March, and Illinois has some of the best options in the country. They got freshman point guard Keaton Wagler, who runs the show. He's a tremendous shooter and passer. Kylan Boswell is a solid two-way player. They got Andrei Stojakovic, who is obviously by his last name a great shooter, but he can also put the ball on the floor and make some tough mid-range jumpers. And then David Mirkovic. This is a guy right here. He's a skilled forward who can handle the ball and be a great 3-level scorer for them. And then they also have the 2 Ivisic brothers, who are 7-foot big men who can both stretch the floor. And then lastly, they have 2 elite shooting wings in Jake Davis and Ben Hummerkaus. So as you can tell, this is a deep team with a plethora of scoring options. The only concern is their defense, specifically inside. But I think their offense is so good, it can carry them to at least a Sweet 16. This team is kind of like Purdue in the past couple years, where they weren't the greatest defensive team, but man, their offense carried them. And I think this team is a better offensive team than last season's Purdue, and definitely this season's Purdue. So we'll see how far this elite offense can take the Fighting Illini. And coming in at number 2, we got the Houston Cougars, who made the national championship last year. And they already had a high floor coming to the season with returning guys like Uzan, Sharp, and Tugler. But they managed to get Kingston Flemings, who is a guard who can get you a bucket whenever you need one. And that makes this team so dangerous because in order to win these early games, they just need one of the 3 main scorers to go off between Emmanuel Sharp, Milos Uzan, and Kingston Flemings. And most of the time, at least 2 of them go off. Pair that with a tough defense and rebounding presence, how can you not trust a team like Houston make Sweet 16? The only thing I don't like about Houston this year, and Houston teams in the last couple years, is that Kelvin Sampson doesn't run plays. He just hopes that guys can make tough 3-point jumpers. So that's the only gripe with this team, but they have some really good offensive options. I think they'll be fine to at least make the Sweet 16. Now, past that, we'll see, but I definitely trust this team to win 2 games in March. And the team I trust the most to make at least the Sweet 16 in March Madness 2026 is the Michigan State Spartans, who were a team I trusted to make the Elite 8 last year, and they did so. But I honestly think I like this team even more than last year's team. They're led by Jeremy Fears Jr., who is one of the best playmakers in the country, probably the best playmaker. And his offensive game seems to be getting better every game. And then they got Cohen Carr, who is a great defender, and he will be saving the NBA's dunk contest for the next decade. We will be seeing Carr versus Mac McClung in a dunk contest, mark my words. But they also have one of the best big man duos with Carson Cooper and Jackson Kohler, who battle for boards inside. wall with the paint, and they can both stretch the floor. And off the bench is their secret weapon, Kerr Tang, who is an awesome scorer and shooter off the bench who can get hot and be a much needed spark plug for the Spartans. And also off the bench, they have Cam Ward, who is a super athletic forward that can grab offensive rebounds and block some shots. So this team is super fun to watch. They also have Tom Izzo, Hall of Fame coach. I think you should trust this team in March. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe for more March Madness content. Tomorrow will be the top 5 wildcard teams. The day after will be the top 5 Cinderellas. And then we'll start making some bracket videos. So I can't wait for March to start, y'all. So make sure to like, subscribe. And thank you for watching. And God bless you all.